Alright, this one's for the people who still believe that their vote doesn't count, who still think that Donald Trump is one of them, who still go with the narrative that everything's a distraction. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that all changed in 2016. There's a war going on out there between positive and negative. And most people don't realize it or choose to look the other way.
With this burden for 3 years since 2016 when they started changing everything, and to have that burden lifted off of my soul is, I've never felt happier or more at peace with myself than I have right now. The police didn't announce themselves. I decided that I'm just not going to talk to them.
So, why are the police outside your home in San Francisco?
And so, what I did is I put out a dead man switch. People well, you're brave. It's like when I'm coming and explaining what Google was doing, this is an act of atonement. Okay, to make my conscience clear. They're not an objective piece. They're not an objective source of information. They are a highly biased political machine that is bent on never letting somebody like Donald Trump come to power again.
The Google whistleblower has come out of the shadows, this time releasing a large cache of remarkable confidential Google documents that exposed Google's political bias and a scary progressive social agenda.
My name is Zach Voorhees, and I was an employee at Google for 8 years. And the reason why I collected these documents was because I saw something dark and nefarious going on with the company. I felt that our entire election system was going to be compromised forever by this company that told the American public that it was not going to do any evil. And I saw that they were making really quick moves, not only in the documents, but also in the internal speeches that the executives were giving to the company, that they were intending to do that. They were intending to sculpt the information landscape so that they could create their own version of what was objectively true.
It was June 24th. Project Veritas released an investigation that included an interview in the shadows with Google insider Zach Voorhees. Within days, it seems, Google was on to him. What happened since you and I last spoke?
There's a lot of stuff that happened since you and I last spoke. I went back to San Francisco and I laid low. And then, out of the blue, I got a letter from Google indicating that they knew what I had done. And that letter contained several demands, 6 of them in fact, asking me whether I retained documents, asking me to list the people that I had given the documents to, and requesting access to all of the data, all of my personal data, my laptop, my backup hard drives, in order for them to come in and start scrubbing all of it.
So we have the letter in front of us, and I have a copy of it here. This letter does make a few demands. It asks you to cease and desist. It asks you to comply by a certain date, no later than Friday, July 26th. Did you?
I did comply. And I complied honestly.
What did you do?
What I told Google is that, yes, I had retained some of their files. And I told them that, yes, I had sent it out. And I told them truthfully that I had sent their files to law enforcement.
What law enforcement agency did you send it to?
The law enforcement agency that I sent it to was the Department of Justice Antitrust Division under Attorney General William Barr.
But according to Zach, Google's attacks on him had only just begun. A Twitter troll outed him as the leaker, saying,
"By the way, Zach, shouldn't you remove well-employed tech geek from your bio, Mr. Leaker?"
So who do you think one snowflake is?
Well, I had my suspicions that it might be an insider from Google, since that information that he posted wasn't public. After I realized that Google knew who I was, I started going to lawyers and attorneys and trying to figure out what Google's likely next step was going to be. And both attorneys that I talked to both said, this is the first step in having your life ruined. They're going to come after you. And so I realized that this is what was coming to me. So what I wanted to let them know is, look, I've got your data. Yeah. And so what I did is I put out a dead man switch, so that in case they were going to either try to destroy my life through the legal system, or that they were trying to just, off me because, I'm exposing them a really big thing, how they are tampering with elections. I wanted to let them know that, hey, look, if something were to happen with me, then these documents are going to be released immediately.
What is a dead man switch for those who aren't familiar with that?
So a dead man switch is something that people that have information about a corporation or somebody else, and they're concerned about their personal safety and possibly their life. And what they do is that they let that entity know that in the case that they get offed, that the information will be released to the public. Mm-hmm. And so I set up a dead man switch to trigger in the case that I was killed or assassinated. And so I let them know that I was going to do that, and to protect myself. The next day, the police began looking for me in 2 different locations. So
It's said that money is the root of all evil. You decide.